Okay, so I'm not about to do the YouTube thing where we wait until the end of a 30-minute video to give you an answer. So here it is. In this video, I'll be explaining why I can't tell you what you should buy to get started and why you should make that decision for yourself. Most people want to buy gear or invest in a DAW or something like that because of one thing. Every single person who gets into art on some level has an innate desire to express themselves. And I just want to point out how great that is. You want to better express yourself to others, to show them parts of you. And not only that, maybe even shine a light within yourself so you can get a better look. I think that's beautiful. I understand when people come to me and say, what's the best thing for a beginner? Problem with that is that it's not that simple. The reason why I can't answer this question in the way it's being formed is because I don't know you. In fact, even your best friends don't know you well enough in order to answer this question for you. And that's because the desire to do something, to express yourself, relies on a passion. And I cannot instill within you that passion, nor can I recommend anything to you that best fits that feeling, that passion within you. It's easy to get lost in things like how much memory does a machine have, or does it have this feature or that feature? What's more important as a beginner is a machine or software that will excite and inspire you to learn the fundamentals of production. When I was 18, I went into Guitar Center in Brea, California, and I took $400 of money that I saved up and I bought myself an SP404. Now, this wasn't an impulse purchase. I had been reading about this thing for about a year. I looked at every single forum post. I saw every interview with every producer that's in your head right now that you're associating it with. And I was so stoked. It was this mythological creature that I had access to now. So I took it home. I was so excited. I turned it on. And about an hour later, I said, wow, what a mistake. Now, more context, I had been spending a couple years in FL Studio kind of messing around with different stuff, but not really understanding fundamentals, because with DAWs, at least back then, there wasn't a lot of guidance and you can get lost really quickly in all the possibilities. And it sat in my closet for, I want to say, 6 months. Sometimes I pull it out and look at it and just feel disappointment and regret. Like, wow, I saved up all that money and I'm not even using this thing. Once I realized that the SP404 wasn't going to magically make me a good producer, I saw it for what it was, a limited machine that, due to its constraints, allowed me to focus and learn how to make beats with the help of its workflow. And once that happened, I fell in love with it. I think if somebody had told me to just buy the machine because that's what you should buy as a beginner, I don't think I would have had the patience with it to push forward and get to that point. My interest in the machine and what it made me feel is what led to me sticking with it. And that excitement that I had over the unit at some point filled me with the drive to get better and learn more. And that is something that I think everyone should be able to chase on their own terms and not hear it from the lips of me or anybody else that you consider to be knowledgeable or experienced. None of us can tell you what that's going to be for you, because your excitement and interest over that machine or platform is what's going to be the X factor in helping you push through the learning curve and get to where you want to go. The capabilities of the machine or platform you use to express yourself is nowhere near as important as the passion that you have in chasing that expression. And if you want, on YouTube, there is somebody who's going to tell you all about any little thing you want to know. In fact, I would recommend that if you are more of a technical person and you get inspired by seeing the capabilities of things, that you would check out Loopop, although I'm pretty sure you already know his channel. Or if you're more of a big picture person and you don't really want to know about the details, you just want to get like the feeling of an instrument, watch somebody on here who uses it. My point is that there's a lot of people on this platform who are doing just that. They are giving you their experience of using these things. And that's really helpful when you are just getting started and you're trying to find your way. After I bought my SP404 in 2008 just to put it in storage, I didn't feel that great spending a lot of money on something that I wasn't using. And that was money that I had put away just for that purpose. If I had instead stretched myself financially to do that because I thought of it as an investment I would get back as soon as my music career took off, it would have felt way worse. Stick with what you know you can afford. The good news is nowadays, there are so many free options that are available for computers and smartphones because the hardware is already there. So far, we've talked about your interest in a piece of hardware or software, and then we factored in affordability. The third and final thing to consider is the time investment needed to learn it. There are all types of machines and interfaces out there, and based on your choice, you can go as deep or as shallow as you want to go. You have to find where on the index you are in terms of willingness to invest your time and your energy in your brain. From simple and easy to use to deep, capable, but really complicated. Because there is a gradient there, and it's not always over here where you should be looking, even though, romantically that's where you want to go. You just buy this one thing and you just use it forever. Yeah, fine. But just remember that it's going to take a little bit more time, or a lot more time, in order to get to the place where you think you can take advantage of what you have there. And that's why I don't recommend the Octatrack to a beginner. If you have seen this channel at all, I'm pretty sure you're well familiar that the Octatrack is basically my right arm. I don't leave house without it. The machine and I are inseparable. But I'm well aware that it takes a hell of an investment of your time and money, because it's not cheap. So you have to have a really high passion for that machine to want to express yourself through that platform in order for it to make sense for you. You have to have less passion when you already understand the fundamentals and you're extremely experienced. But if you're just starting out, oh boy, I can't even imagine trying to start out in this game using the Octatrack as my first machine. I think I would just quit. But that's the thing. I'm not going to recommend to you my favorite thing because our circumstances are most likely entirely different. Yeah, for me, it's perfect. But for you, it would probably be a really fancy paperweight with a fader on it. I believe that focusing on these three aspects will help you make this decision for yourself. And you should make it for yourself. But I think if you keep those in mind, you'll make the right decision. This actually was inspired by a question that somebody posted in my Patreon's group chat. And it was the way they asked it, as well as the rallying of support from other members, that really made me think about it less of a, how should I spend my money because it's burning a hole in my pocket, and more, how do I express myself? Which I think is a much more interesting and poignant question, and I hope that I answered it in this video. Oh yeah, by the way, YouTube pays creators differently ad revenue based on the category of videos. So, people that are doing finance videos are having a great time, while we over making music category videos are not sharing the same rewards. So the way I keep this going is I have a Patreon. Every week there's a new track, and it's a nice little thing. So if you want to support a little bit more, please join there. We'd love to have you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.